Turn the sound up a bit. It's got a nice sound, right?
Thank you.
'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and light. 'Tis the gift to be humble, of the wise and the kind. 'Tis the gift of those who follow the divine, to bless and be blessed by a simple faith, to live in the peace of amazing grace. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come out right. 'Tis the gift to be joyful, 'tis a gift just to sing, 'tis a gift to make your song an offering. And when that gift is shared with the hope of light, the darkness will fade with the fear of the night. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come out right. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the light just right, it will be in the garden of peace and delight.
This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound and light and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. This day has been waiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms, just for you. This is the day we have been given, bright and sunny. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. Please rise. In body or spirit for our first hymn, 139, Wonders Still the World Shall Witness.
Wonders still the world shall witness, never known in days of old, never dreamed by ancient sages, howsoever free and bold. Sons and daughters shall inherit wondrous hearts to us unknown, when the dawn of peace its splendor over all the world has thrown. They shall rule with winged freedom, worlds of health and
Good morning. How's everyone today? You know, thank you, Gabriel. I'm glad you asked. I'm actually feeling really good. I woke up this morning a bit cold, and then the sun came out, and it was glorious. I felt like I was in a painting outside with all the leaves. Yeah, so I'm doing really good. Yeah, it's just really good to see all of you. A few announcements this morning. The Constitution discussion today will be canceled. Bob Sable has come down with a cold, so that won't be happening today. But you're all welcome to join me, second place today. You can join me. We're going to talk about mystery. That's the theme for December. We have a lot of holidays to celebrate, or for some of us, a lot of mystery to celebrate. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about your relationship to mystery. Is it something that you welcome, something that you hold off, something that you just let be and not really engage it? What's the relationship to mystery? This is going to be in Schweitzer Lounge at 12:30, and everyone's welcome to join me for that. And let's see. Oh, yes. Man, the weeks are going so fast. Next Sunday is our Thanksgiving meal here at the church. So I wanted to announce, please bring a potluck dish. We're doing this kind of random style, so we might have a bunch of pumpkin pie. There's no organization, which is fine. So just bring a dish. You know, it could be something simple, something complicated, whatever you want to bring to share with everyone. But we're going to have a nice meal after service next Sunday. And I'm sad to announce Beth Foster, longtime member, passed away this past Monday in Minnesota, not too far from where she was born. And she was with us on Zoom on Sunday, which I thought was really lovely. And the music and everything came through. She was able to listen in her bed, and then she passed away the next day. I've been in touch with their family. They're doing a service in Minnesota there. And we have a memory book downstairs in Channing Hall where we're going to welcome all of you to write something about your experience with Beth so we can send that to the family. And also, we're going to do some kind of service for Beth during the holiday time, something around music, because her and her husband Bill loved music. So we're going to do something to celebrate Beth Foster here too. And now I'd love to invite Brandy Wagner. There you are, Brandy, for our pledge drive announcement.
Hello. UUYO has come through the pandemic and is still shining on the north side of Youngstown as a beacon of progressive religion in the Mahoning Valley. A decline in pledges caused by life changes and the economy, COVID from a few years ago, has left the church in a situation of continual monthly losses. We must act now to sustain the rich inheritance going back 130 years since the church's founding in 1892. While we understand that many are also struggling financially, we ask that you step up to what you can, give what you can, so we can sustain and pay forward the legacy of the UUYO. I want to share just a few more facts with you and let you know that I will be downstairs during coffee hour and I will have pledge cards. So we are asking that everyone fill one out, hopefully by the end of November, in the next couple weeks, because the pledge cards are very important for us to figure out our budget and know exactly what's coming in each month. There is no minimum pledge, but as soon as you become a member, UUYO is asked to pay $87 in national and regional UUA dues to support our denomination. Thus, if you and your partner become members and plus pledge than $174, your fellow members are paying your way to participate with UUYO. Your additional financial support is vital and appreciated, but it's just a part of what makes UUYO work. Your participation is essential in keeping UUYO a vibrant community. If you're unable to make a financial donation, consider offering to volunteer to help with tasks that go undone for want of time, money, or expertise. UUYO would not exist without our members' involvement and support. Our hope is to be here a long time to create positive change in the Mahoning Valley and celebrate the fellowship of our community. Thank you for being part of UUYO.
I want to open the chalice lighting with a quote that I read at about 5 o'clock this morning when I wasn't sleeping. It came from Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who wrote, "Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world will help immensely." Being generous means so much more than giving money. Generosity is giving of something important to you, sacrificing something for another's well-being. Although the rich are often lauded for their generous donations, the most generous people are often the ones who lead the least materialistic lives, but give a larger percentage of what they have to help others. It leads to a greater life satisfaction when you live generously. When I was a poor college student, I decided to do a summer theater stint in southern Kentucky. There were about 50 theater geeks, mostly broke kids and young adults, who spent long hours working for very little pay. It was during this time that I experienced so many acts of generosity. When a cast member got hurt and couldn't work for a week, everyone pitched in to buy them food. Almost everyone rode bicycles around the small town, and I can't count the number of times one of us helped another with a bike part or a patch, a repair, a tire, and sometimes we even gave each other rides on the handlebars, which I don't recommend. The nearest actual grocery store was nearly an hour away, and not everyone had a car. So there were weekly carpools for supplies, and sometimes when we got there and we didn't have enough money, we all pitched in and helped each other out. We were often all exhausted from the long hours, but we were always generous with kind words for a daily boost. We took turns taking care of each other and sharing what little we had. I learned so many different ways to make ramen taste different that summer. Once, the people running the theater treated us all to a fancy dinner, and I'm not lying when I said, although it was much more food than we usually had, it didn't taste nearly as good. I know this congregation is generally generous, but I urge you to extend your generosity a little further when you can. Please share your money when you can and want to. Please donate blood if you can and are able. Give to food and clothes drives like you always have. But also, share your time with someone who is hurt. Share your lunch with someone who is hungry. Share your love with someone who is lonely. Share your kindness with someone who is down. It will only make your life more rich. We light this chalice today in the spirit of generosity.
To greet your neighbor. Very simple, just say hello, introduce yourself, especially if you don't know them.
All right. Today's story is There's a Hole in the Log on the Bottom of the Lake by Lauren Long. There's a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a hole. Oh. There's a log. There's a log. There's a log, log, log. There's a log on the bottom of a lake. There's a hole in the log on the bottom of a lake. There's a hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a frog in the hole of a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. This is starting to get hard. There's a frog, there's a frog, there's a frog, frog, frog in the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a hair on the frog in the hole on the bottom of the lake. Good God. There's a hair, there's a hair. There's a hair, hair, hair on the frog, frog, frog on the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a fly on the hair of the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a fly on the hair of the frog in the hole on the log in the bottom of the lake. Oh my God. There's a fly, there's a fly. There's a fly, fly, fly on the hair, hair, hair on the frog, frog, frog in the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat. There's a gnat on the fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat on the fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. Why did you do this? There's a gnat. There's a gnat. There's a gnat, gnat, gnat on the fly, fly, fly on the hair, hair, hair on the frog, frog, frog in the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a gnat on the fly on the hair in the frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a fish near the gnat on the fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish near the gnat on the fly of the hair of the frog of the hole on the log on the bottom of the lake. This right here? It's a fish. Uh-oh, there's a chomp, snap, gulp. Yay.
That was not just free, that was priceless. There's a difference. I'm hoping you will all come downstairs later on and help us create some more, because we started yesterday with Creation Day, and we are making things to sell at our craft and bake sale that is going to be on December the 2nd. Claire made that yesterday. Time for Jedi training, everyone, all my children. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I did forget. There we go. Sorry about that. We're going to read the covenant as well. Can you read? Gotta turn Turn around, everybody. Turn around this way. Turn around, look that way. There you go. Look, here, turn around. Here. Okay, ready? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Now we're going to go to class.
Our church is supported by pledge income from members and friends like you. If you wish to make an offering to us, please designate on your check or envelope it is for UUYO. Our giveaway the plate recipient for November is the Senior Support Action Group. The Senior Support Action Group, or SSAG, is a nonprofit program of family and community services, working to improve the health, well-being, and independence of low-income, homebound seniors and other disabled persons by providing access to food, transportation, and companionship throughout Mahoning, Trumbull, and Columbiana counties. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
There's a frog in a hole at the bottom of the lake. Come on. No? It's perfect, isn't it? I need your help singing this one with me anyway so we can get warmed up. This is a song called Weave Me the Sunshine, and I'm going to need you all to help me sing the chorus. The chorus goes like this. Weave, weave, weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. So weave, weave, weave me the sunshine out of the fallen rain. Try that with me. Weave, weave, weave me the sunshine out of the fallen rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow and fill my cup again. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow and fill my cup again. They say it's the tree of loving, shine on me again. They say it grows on the banks of the river of suffering, shine on me again. And here we go. Weave, weave, weave me the sunshine out of the fallen rain. Weave me the hope. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. If only I could heal your sorrow, shine on me again. I'd help you to find your new tomorrow, shine on me again. Here we go. Weave me the sunshine out of the fallen rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Well, I've seen the steel and the concrete crumble. Shine on me again. The proud and the mighty, they all have stumbled. Shine on me again. Now everybody. Weave, weave me the sunshine out of the fallen rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Well, only you can climb that mountain. Shine on me again. If you want to drink from that golden fountain, shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine out of the fallen rain. sunshine out of the fallen rain. We've neither hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Give yourselves a hand. Nice job, everybody.
I see some of you doing this. Stop, sunshine. So we're going to sit in silence for just a minute. This is a poem called Dawn Prayer for All by Simon J. Ortiz. Right before dawn, in the blue light of it, I look for the horses, but they aren't there. Only the winter trees, thick along the creek. Everything is still, not even birds move. Only a pain in my chest, under my right breast. Pulling muscle, something engorged. I'm afraid of its motion, the turn I awaken to daily. The horses must be beyond the creek, feeding in the frozen meadow. I'll not wait for them. My knowledge is only human. Only my eyes see what is to be seen, and beyond that is more, yet it is not within my ken. I can't see death, yet know its presence well, even its posture prior to it. Pain is not death. I allow that. For that I am grateful to my mind, the memory ancient, not lonely or unreasonable. Pray then for the blue light of morning that draws me toward the day. Pray then for the horses, for the presence of all things, for the pain.
This is Whose Mouth Do I Speak With by Suzanne Rancourt. I can remember my father bringing home spruce gum. He worked in the woods and filled his pockets with golden chunks of pitch for his children. He provided this special sacrament, and we'd gather at his feet, around his legs, bumping his lunchbox and his empty thermos rattled inside. Our skin would stick to Daddy's gluey clothing, and we'd smell like Mama's pine sol. We had no money for store-bought gum, but that's all right. The spruce gum was so close to chewing amber, and as though in our mouths we held the eyes of Coyote, and how many other children had fathers that placed on their innocent, anxious tongue the blood of Tree.
This is a song whose lyric I dearly love. It's a song that speaks to the sacredness of the mundane, the things that we do every day, the things that you and I do every day, that speak to being almost sacramental. This is a song by Carrie Newcomer. It's called Holy is the Day is Spent. Holy is the dish and drain, the soap and sink and the cup and plate, and the warm wool socks and the cold white tile, shower heads and good dry towels, and frying eggs sound like psalms, with bits of salt measured in my palm. It's all a part of a sacrament, as holy as a day is spent. Holy is the busy street, the cars that boom with passion's beat, and the checkout girl counting change. The hands that shook my hands today, and hymns of geese fly overhead and spread their wings like their parents did. Blessed be the dog who runs in her sleep to chase some wild, elusive thing. Holy is the familiar room, and quiet moments in the afternoon, and folding sheets like folding hands, to pray as only laundry can. I'm letting go of all my fear, like autumn leaves made of earth and air, for the summer came and the summer went, as holy as a day is spent. Holy is the place I stand to give whatever small good I can, to the empty page and the open book, redemption everywhere I look. Unknowingly we slow our pace in the face of unexpected grace, and with grateful smiles and sad lament, as holy as a day is spent, and morning light sings providence, as holy as a day is spent.
I've known enough people, and I've recognized in my own life that sometimes it's inescapable feeling we don't have enough. Enough time, enough energy, enough money, enough persistence. And it's very easy to live with a hunger for something which fundamentally is not here, or at least that's how it seems. It can feel like we never have enough of what we truly need, and way too much that drags us down, gets in our way, leaves us feeling stuck. In those times, I found when it feels I've tapped all my resources, the world seems to shrink and feel very claustrophobic. When I feel I've tapped my patience, or whatever it is, I can feel the agitation rising, telling me I've reached my limit. You know that feeling? At least I thought I reached my limit. I've been thinking about which resources are limited and which resources may potentially be unlimited. And I've been wondering about the role cost plays in all of this. The pledge drive inspired me this time. But honestly, ever since I've arrived in Youngstown, this wondering has never left me. I remember I shared this story years ago about when we bought our house on the west side, and we had someone come to do an appraisal, standard practice before you buy a house. I remember the sheepish look on the appraiser's face when he came to us and said, "The houses on the street where you're about to buy a house, and actually the four streets on either side of this house, all the houses have been sold for such radically different prices." You know what I'm talking about, right? He even said, I mean, look at this. In one instance, it's a $100,000 difference between what houses are sold for. And so again, the sheepish look. And he said, "Given all this data, I have one very important question to ask you. How much is this house worth to you? Because whatever number you say, that will be the number I put down. I cannot appraise this house using the metrics I was taught to use. It's broken, the metric. So, how much is it worth to you?" That is not the first time I've known. If you manage to break the metrics, break the frameworks we commonly use to make sense of our life, a strange freedom comes this way. It's like we enter the Wild West of our own life. And I've found that the most basic questions are the ones that almost nobody asks. That is, unless the frameworks break. How much is this house worth to you? You know what I thought? Funny enough, the number that came to mind was infinity. Infinity. This house is worth something to me that is more than finite. A number doesn't capture its full worth to me. I should have asked if under value, they could just put the infinity symbol. I've really questioned everything I thought I knew about reality coming to Youngstown, Ohio. But even growing up, there were certain things that I've heard that immediately made sense to me that no one ever spoke about. And I think that planted the seed. And I'll give you one example. I remember the first time that I went out to a proper fine dining establishment. I must have been maybe 10, 11 years old. I remember walking in, beautiful white tablecloths, waiters with bow ties. It felt a little intimidating at first because it was unknown, but there was still an attraction. It felt like something special was taking place here, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I remember being sat down and I was surrounded by adults who were at least 40 years older than me. I was 11, they must have been about 50. One of the men was from Texas, and he still had a bit of a drawl. And he used to tell me stories about being a ranch hand when he was not much older than I was. I took a drink of water that, in my mind, felt to me like a crystal glass. And you know that water? It tasted really good. Especially good. And it wasn't flavored. I remember wondering if this place had access to some special water. Where our table was, we had this gorgeous view of the river. The sun was about to set, and the river was reflecting all the colors from the trees. It's like you could dive into the trees. I felt I had never seen such a beautiful river in my whole life. I picked up the menu casually, and I looked at the prices. I was stunned. I remember looking around. The restaurant was full. And I remember thinking to myself, very confused, all these people are paying this much? I mean, I was a kid, so I wasn't. But I thought, wow, all these people are paying this much money. I couldn't help myself. I whispered to the man next to me with the Texas drawl. I said, why do people pay this much for a meal or a drink? Even then, I could do the math. We could go out to eat 5-6 times at most places I was used to going for the price that one meal cost here. Why do people pay this much for a meal or a drink? He smiled and said to me without thinking, we pay this much to learn to appreciate what costs nothing. We pay this much to learn to appreciate what costs nothing. He went on. He said, see all these people? Some of them are celebrating an anniversary. Some of them are celebrating a graduation. He said, it costs nothing for these people to be together and love each other. But because they're here, some of them will remember this moment forever. They'll actually feel how much love they have for the other person. And you know what he said? He said, look at us. Because we're here, you might actually remember this conversation. I was talking with Jeff Krause. I shared that story. And he said, yeah, I'm doing my Jeff impression. Yeah, no, you don't talk like that. Yeah, you could have that beautiful view of the river for free. True. But we are such strange creatures. We need to build a restaurant, a deck with an overlook, so someone like me can appreciate what is fundamentally free. That's true. This doesn't discount it or make it silly in my mind. It makes it actually very poignant. We'll pay a high price in more ways than one just to show that we love one another, that we love the river, that we love this life. It's just what we do. And you know, almost every person I've talked to who worked to support their household, even if they loved their work, in the end, it was to show their family, their kids, that they loved them. This is especially poignant if the parent was not able to use their words to communicate that. It is really poignant to me that things that matter most to us at bottom cost nothing. And if we're lucky, it will cost us everything. And they're both true. It costs nothing to be kind to one another, to take 2 minutes out of our day to take an interest in someone. It costs nothing to offer a hug or hold someone's hand or just sit there near someone. It costs nothing to tell someone they're doing a good job, that they impress us in some way, that they have something special. All the values we talk about in this church, truly, they cost nothing to experience, to live, to practice. Even though the world may convince us otherwise sometimes, I don't think kindness is a limited resource. And yet, to actually live in this world with kindness, if we do it right, if we're lucky, I think it will cost us everything. I hope it does. That's my strange prayer. I hope it does. Meaning, it will use all we've got. All our resources, inner and outer. And I don't mean burnout or giving at the expense of ourselves. I mean just feeling utilized, full, like we're not holding back. You know, we've done a very wonderfully human thing here. Our predecessors built a beautiful building and gifted it to us without a mortgage. They've passed on what they knew, what they found helpful, and we've done what is natural and added to what they've given us, shaped it to our time and place, hoping the next generation will do the same. We've made budgets, hired staff. I've spent years of my life going to school and practicing, spending many hours and much money moving across the country multiple times to share something which is fundamentally free. To share something which not only cost nothing, but was here before I arrived, and will remain long after I'm gone. I not only spent, I continue to spend all my finite resources on something which is ultimately infinite. If I'm lucky, that will be true. If I'm lucky. You know, it would be reasonable to ask, why do all this? Not just this, but all the things we do. Why spend money to go to a restaurant to overlook the river when you can be with your loved ones at home and stand on the bank of the river for free? Why have a church when values like kindness and compassion are unlimited resources, available to everyone, whether they come to church or not? You want to know my answer to that? We have a few more minutes, so I'll tell you my take. I've learned not to confuse cost with worth. Something can cost a lot, but be worth very little. And something can cost nothing, which is worth everything. And sometimes things cost everything and are worth everything. I would put this church in the last category, Funny enough. Just because of my view of human nature. I have found it has cost more than I first imagined to live a life in line with our covenant. The smallest part of that cost was money. My mentor, when she was first becoming a minister, she went in front of our credentialing board, and the committee asked her, "What do you hope for in your life?" Her answer was, and I love this, "I would like to say at the end of my life that I was all used up." The committee chuckled, stamped her paper, and said, "Parish ministry will definitely do that." I'm really grateful for that. Again, I'm not talking about giving at the expense of our own well-being. I'm talking about the feeling of being thoroughly engaged. And that has been true for me. And that is my hope for each and every one of you in your own life, to be completely engaged, to appreciate your life. To do that, I've found costs more than I imagined. But that's just because my view of myself, honestly, was too small. I see now there's endless room for growth. I will never complete it in one lifetime, but I can do it. I can live this life I've been given fully, more fully than I originally thought. And that, to me, it's worth everything. I've learned to be grateful for what I never thought I would be grateful for. Grateful for the pain. Grateful for the dawn. Grateful for what beauty has come my way. Grateful for the beauty that still seems far off. Grateful for all the things and people I can too easily take for granted. The trees, sometimes covered in tar. Familiar faces, which are my lifeline. Strangers, which quietly and without complaint make my life possible. And I theirs. It's true, the best things in life are free. But truly appreciating, living, treasuring what's free. In my experience, that costs everything. It welcomes full engagement. Without that full engagement, it is still free. It is still wonderful. But me personally, I might never realize just how wonderful. The insanity of that predicament, I think, is worth laughing about. On one level, it's completely silly. And on another level, it's the most serious, important thing there is. Spending our whole life to appreciate what costs nothing at first glance, what is freely available, all the people who have loved us into being and are still doing that right now. But those of us crazy enough to spend our life wanting to fully appreciate what ultimately is free, well, you're in luck, folks. We have a place for that. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, so grateful for the sunshine, grateful for all the music and all the people here and all the people online and everyone in this city, in this country, and in this world. Just so grateful to be alive here on this morning with everyone. And please help us to welcome one another more fully after service through simple ways, having coffee, saying hello. All this we pray. Amen. Please rise in body of spirit for our closing hymn. In the gray hymnal, 299. make channels for the streams of love. 299.
Make channels for the streams of love where they broadly run, and love has overflowing wings to fill them everyone. But if at any time we cease such channels to provide, the very funds of love for us will soon be parched and dry. For we must share if we would keep this gift or else above. We cease to give, we cease to have. Such is the law of love.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we meet again.
I think all of you came this morning because it's free. As you depart, please remember the one great fact. You are loved and never truly alone.
Be joyful, 'tis the gift just to sing, 'tis a gift to make your song an offering. And when that gift is shared with the hope of light, the darkness will fade from the fear